This is a Sports Catastrophe production.
Hey there, Heather, ho there. It's Jeff Cardano welcoming you to another Sports Catastrophe on this day. And on this day, on January the 11th, I think it's January 11th. Yeah, January 11th, 1987, the AFC Championship game between the Denver Broncos and Cleveland Browns was huge. It was one of the best in the world and all that. It was a huge play and all that. So the 1987 playoffs were happening in the NFL. And Cleveland were the 1 seed and got to host the AFC title game. The NFC title game would see the Giants beat the Redskins 17-0. So the Giants awaited. Well, although Denver and Cleveland were technically first. So the Cleveland Browns were number 1 in the AFC and were hoping to get to their first Super Bowl in the Super Bowl era. They were NFL champions a lot in the 50s and 60s, but that was before the Super Bowl happened between the AFL and NFL. So Cleveland awaited the winner of the Chiefs-Jets game for the wild card. The Jets won the game, so the Jets would face Cleveland in the divisional round. Cleveland had troubles with the Jets and all that. It was a nice double overtime game. Don Criqui bombed Trump during the game. The Jets actually had a 10-point lead and choked thanks to a terrible Marek Gastineau penalty. So Cleveland put up 10 points in the final place. So anyway, Cleveland had a chance. They decided to kick the field goal in the first overtime, but Mosley missed a 23-yard kick, which was shocking. I mean, like anything less than 30 yards is almost a gimme and all that. Anyway, the Jets couldn't really play well in the overtime. Thankfully, Mosley got another chance and kicked a field goal to win the game and all that. Kosar would set some postseason records and all that. It was huge. Meanwhile, the number 2 Denver Broncos would take on the number 3 New England Patriots with Dick Enberg and Morgan Olsen during the game. The Broncos were the 2 seed in the AFC. And they beat the Patriots 22-17. It was close, though. So now we got to see the drive. So Denver faced Cleveland at 12:30 in the afternoon for the AFC title game, back when the championship games were really early in the daytime. So Enberg and Olsen, the legendary announcers, did the game. Bob Greasy also had his 2 cents about things. Anyway, the Browns would be first on the board when Bernie Kosar threw a touchdown pass to Herman Fontenot to make it 7-0. Unfortunately, Cleveland had trouble. They were picked off. They turned the ball over 3 straight times. Denver would get one of those plays into a field goal by Rich Karlis, who was weird because Rich Karlis, kind of like Tony Franklin, I think it was Tony Franklin as well, actually kicked field goals with a bare foot. And the weird thing is, why would you kick with a bare foot in cold weather? You got to really have guts for that. You could lose a toe. Regardless, Denver did score a touchdown on a play by Gerald Wilhite, the running back. Mark Mosley would kick a field goal to tie the game at 10 at the half, going to the half. Karlis would kick a field goal to make it 13-10 in the third quarter. So the fourth quarter, Cleveland responded with a Mosley field goal to tie it at 13. And then, after forcing the Broncos to punt, Kosar completed a 48-yard pass to Brian Brennan, who was loose down the left side. Touchdown Cleveland, 20-13 with 5:47 left. And then Mosley kicked the ball. Unfortunately, Ken Bell of the Broncos misplayed it, and it bounced to the 2-yard line. He had to dive on the ball. So Denver was 98 yards back. And it was huge. Elway's play was just that kind of moment. So there's a few people who said that they knew about this. So the play-by-play of the drive was this: on first down at the 2, Elway threw a sideline pass to Sammy Winder, 5 yards. That made it 2nd and 5. After a pair of Winder runs, it was first down and 10. Winder ran 3 yards. Elway had an 11-yard run on 2nd and 7 at the 15 to make it first and 10 at the 26. So anyway, John Elway threw a 22-yard pass to Steve Sewell at the 26 to make a first down, and then at the 48, they got a 12-yard catch from Elway to Steve Watson. So the 2-minute warning happened. So they were first and 10 at the Cleveland 40. An incomplete pass by Elway, and then he was sacked by Dave Pozzoli. So it's 3rd and 18. And Elway made a famous pass to Mark Jackson with 1:47 left. 20 yards, first down at the Cleveland's 28. Incomplete pass, and then Steve Sewell got a first down pass from Elway. On first down at the Cleveland 14 with under a minute left, Elway had an incomplete pass. 2nd down, he decided to scramble for a touchdown to make it 3rd and 1 at the 5-yard line. Elway decided to float a pass to Mark Jackson. Touchdown, we are tied. It's amazing and all that. Denver didn't even face a 4th down, and they went to 15 plays, 98 yards. Cleveland had to punt on the opening drive of overtime, so Elway knew that a field goal would win it. And he led the Broncos 60 yards downfield. And Rich Carlos had a 33-yard field goal. Now, the problem is, if you watch NBC's coverage, is that from the end zone angle of Carlos's kick, like you see him kick kind of close to your TV screen, like through the uprights and all that. Like you don't see the kicker's back and all that. That angle looks a little suspicious. A lot of people said that Carlos missed to the left, but they called it good. It's kind of hard to believe and all that. So anyway, the Broncos shocked Cleveland in Cleveland with the Browns having a chance to win a trip to the Super Bowl and to face the Giants. I think the Giants probably still would have won the Super Bowl, but anyhow. So Cleveland was pissed off and all that. I mean, how can you give up a 98-yard drive? In fact, before the Pats and Chiefs battled each other in the 2019 AFC title game, it was the only AFC championship game that went to overtime. So basically, that was huge. So, of course, the Giants beat the Broncos in the Super Bowl. Phil Simms was a beast that game. I think 80% completion percentage. That's one of the highest ever. Anyhow, the New York Giants deserved it. The Broncos and Browns, this wouldn't be their last rodeo. Broncos and Browns in next year would meet in the AFC title game. But this time, Denver had the better seed, so that means the game was in Denver this time. Unfortunately, there would be another play called the fumble that ruined things. As Ernest Biner had a chance to score the tying touchdown. It was 38-31 Broncos. He gets stopped. He fumbles the ball. Randy Lilly gets the ball. And the Broncos win the game. They would meet in the 1990 AFC title game, but the Broncos crushed the Browns to get to the Super Bowl. But for Cleveland fans, it was a little bit of karma, as all 3 times the Broncos beat the Browns in the AFC title game, they lost in the Super Bowl. So, Cleveland fans can laugh at themselves in a sense. Maybe, maybe not. But anyway, yeah, the drive was huge. And don't you forget it. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. Adu.